So, hello everyone. Welcome to the webinar. We're just waiting for a couple of more folks to join in, and then we can get started. In the meantime, it'd be really nice if you can share a quick introduction about where you work, what is your expertise in, and what are you looking forward to in this webinar. Would really give our amazing panel a lot of ideas to work on. So do definitely drop a note in the webinar chat, and then we can definitely get started in the next couple of. All right, I think we can get started now. So just to quickly introduce our topic for today, our webinar topic for the today, we're going to discuss the global boom of micro drama, tapping into the 10 billion blue ocean opportunity. I'm going to be your host, and this is your amazing panel. I just wanted to quickly give a brief about what we're going to discuss. Now, today we know that we live in a time where attention spans are really shrinking, yet the hunger for stories has only grown stronger. People today want to feel connected, inspired, and entertained, but they want it quick and in formats that fit into their busy lives. This is where micro dramas are really stepping in, and these are generally short, powerful narratives that capture emotion, tension, and resolution in just a few minutes. Now, despite their length, they carry the same intensity as traditional storytelling, and sometimes even more because every second counts. We today have an amazing panel who would guide us through what it really takes to make a micro drama successful from a publisher and a content creator point of view. How do micro dramas scale with app growth as well as growth in terms of monetization and retention? And we can also then look at how does advertising, creatives, and more really play a role in terms of growth of this entire industry. With that, I'll let the panel introduce themselves. Ashish, maybe you can go first.
Hey everyone, thanks Karan. Super glad to be here. So I think kind of building on what you said, we live in a super fast-paced economy, not just in the B2C side but also B2B side. So just a bit about me, I had spent a decade in apps and games in different startups and also a meaningful time with Google in India. And all the tools I came across that were built for app and game developers to help them on user acquisition or monetization, they took months to bring value to developers, right? And this is not what the customer wants in 2025, whether it's from their delivery of commerce goods, whether it's from watching content, or whether it's from B2B solutions, right? So we built AppBroda and UAgenius with the single purpose of bringing user acquisition and monetization tools to app and game developers at a 20x faster value than the other tools in the market. So we help both sides of the business. If you're an app and game developer, we help you in user acquisition and we help you on ad monetization. So that's a bit about me, Karan. Really looking forward to the panel.
Awesome. Thank you so much for introducing yourself, Ashish. I'm really looking forward to your thoughts on UA, retention, as well as monetization. Vinod, maybe you want to go next?
Yeah, hi everyone. So myself Vinod, and like I'm representing SocialPeta, which is an ad intelligence platform. So we help um, the apps, specifically like micro dramas, to understand what type of marketing activities need to be done to gain users or increase the number of users, what type of network need to be chosen. So anything related to user acquisition, we help and support the brands to understand the competitor, what type of the leaders are doing in the market to use to increase the number of users. So which is one of the most important part when we talk about any of the short drama short drama creator or short drama apps. So this is about me. We will be happy to discuss more on short drama space. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Vinod, for sharing that introduction. Definitely competitive insights, creative insights, and ad intelligence adds so much for every business owner, publisher, as well as content creator to really understand what's working, what's not working, what are some trends that are coming up, and of course, spot some opportunities that are there in each and every market because every market is very unique in its own approach. With that, moving on to Anton, who's joining in. Would you like to introduce yourself, share a bit around your expertise?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Karan. Happy to be here with you guys. My name is Anton Skripets, and I work at AMO Pictures Studio as a licensing and partnership executive. And I assume that some of people who are attending us today might not have heard about AMO Pictures Studio, but I am 100% sure that most of the people have seen the content we created. Because, for example, with a strong partnership together with My Drama application launched by Holy Water, we created some of the best performance stories for their application, like probably you heard about them, Spark Me Tenderly, Young Elite, or The Shy Beauty and the Millionaire Beast, and many, many others. And we also, as a production house, work with lots of other big players like Drama Box, like Drama Shorts, and many others, which I cannot talk about due to NDA policy. And since starting from the last year, as a studio, we started producing our own short dramas, which we later release on various platforms. And we did it kind of great even because by today, this year, we already released 8 titles on Real Short and Good Short. So basically, that is how AMO Pictures looks today. We work as a production house and as a studio, releasing our own content on different platforms. Most of our, we originally based in Ukraine, and most of our best performing novels were created here in Kiev, where I am right now. And but we also, since we started expanding our capacities, we also produce in UK, Spain, Poland, US, Australia, and we're expanding more because we see the demand is huge, and we are trying to expand our capacities. So that is how AMO Pictures looks today. Happy to talk with you guys. I believe that's it.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for that introduction. If someone from the panel or even the audience has some dreams of becoming a superstar, Anton's the guy who they can definitely reach out to. With that, we also have Shadab. Shadab, would you like to share a quick introduction about yourself?
नमस्कार। सबसे पहले तो आप सभी को मेरा नाम शादाब सिद्दीकी है। मैं एक राइटर हूँ, डायरेक्टर हूँ, कंटेंट एग्जीक्यूशन करता हूँ और क्रिएटिव डायरेक्शन में मेरा काम है। और मैं पिछले 16-17 सालों से फिल्म लाइन में जुड़ा हुआ हूँ। अभी फिलहाल माइक्रो ड्रामा पे मैं काम कर रहा हूँ, कंटेंट एग्जीक्यूशन का काम कर रहा हूँ। तो जिस तरीके की मार्केट है जिसके लिए आज हम मिले हैं, तो मिलके अच्छा लगा आप लोगों से।
जी ज़रूर, बिल्कुल। तो so just going back and translating that for Shadab, he's been working in this market for over 16 years. He's super happy to be here because he's been in the content acquisition space. And definitely, if there are any questions on content acquisition, we'll reach out to Shadab. Thank you so much for that quick introduction. With that, just some housekeeping rules. We have some amazing panelists over here. So within the audience, if there are folks who would want a particular panelist to answer a question, do drop in the chat or in the Q&A section so that we can pick that up. And then we can get started. With that, let me put forward the first question for the complete panel. Now, we know that micro dramas have quickly grown from a niche format in China to a global trend driven by mobile viewing habits, platform algorithms, and low cost, along with fast turnaround production. Now, with this new monetization models emerging, now is generally like an ideal time to tap into this booming market. What are the factors driving this global boom of dramas, and why is now the right time to invest in this format? So I think what I would suggest is, if anyone would start off with this, and then we can continue the flow.
Sure. If the panel is okay, I can have a stab at it, Karan.
Sure.
So I think if I compare the TV to OTT disruption that happened when everyone started moving from TV to streaming, right, like Netflix, Prime, there the disruption was more to do with the on-demand nature of streaming versus how all of us historically consumed content, which was at a scheduled time, right? Here, the disruption that's happening is much faster because um, basically you're taking you're taking existing content, whether it's novellas, whether it's TV shows that have been produced, whether it's movies. So the content is there, right? Like a lot of the content we see on micro dramas actually started with novellas, which are short stories that were already there in a large part of the world, right? Now, adapting that to a very strong tailwind. Here, the tailwind that is driven is what you rightly said, short attention spans and vertical video consumption, right? So unlike the TV to OTT era, where you had to basically the disruption was on demand, here the tailwind is already very clear because people know TikTok, people know Reels works, right? So the challenge here is only adapting the content that is in books, in audio, in movies, in whatever IP format to this short form content, right? And I think that's for me the number one reason that I see this booming so fast to $10 billion, right? Because with AI, with technology, with existing distribution platforms, you already have multiple compounding tailwinds once you adapt that content. With the OTT to with the broadcast to OTT disruption, it took a longer cycle because you didn't have that many tailwinds, right? So that is my view on why this is happening so fast, and why I think it will just continue to grow.
Got it. So adaptability and also the entire habit being created with short video formats. Anyone else would like to add to the same?
Yes, I can add to this topic also because I partly agree with Ashish. So speaking about the factors which are driving the global boom of this market, I believe that's all about consumers' behavior, which changed for the last like 5 to 10 years. And we gotta admit that we are living in a fast-paced world today with lots of hooks happening in our everyday lives. So that's why people wanna consume more information in a much shorter period of time. And of course, I completely agree, and we know that short drama market came from China. But what I believe is that the background was ready for it here. And when I'm talking about the background, so here is the story. In 2018 or 2019, AMO Pictures were producing lots of many of short fiction stories for social medias, for Facebook, first of all, and that was what our business was all about. So we were just producing lots of short form fiction stories in basically the same genre that nowadays short drama market work with. So dramatic stories, romantic stories, thrilling stories with a little bit of suspense. And the rules were also the same. So we created stories which were very fast paced, which had lots of hooks, which gotta have opening scene, which gotta have good cast. And our main goal as a producer, as a production house, was to hook the viewer's attention and catch his attention to as many time as we can, because if the user watch the story for a long time, then we get more money. And basically we built a large business on it. Then we started distributing those stories on YouTube also, For today, we created like more than 1,500 stories, short fiction stories. And what we got from that period is the experience, because that is what we basically do right now in short drama market. We also trying to create a stories with lots of episodes, with lots of hooks in the end, at the end of each episodes. And that's basically the same. And we are happy that we got this experience. But my point is that the background was ready for the booming of short drama market.
Or that's an
And
awesome.
also,
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, and also, sorry, I guess you got a question about is it the right time to invest in this market also? That is also an interesting topic, because honestly, I believe that it is not the best time. It is a good time, because the best times were last year and the year before. Now more and more players are coming in, and the competition is huge. It's really fast growing, and we believe that we can see, like, for example, Drama Wave, which did like a brilliant job. They are amazing, but they did invest lots of money to jump onto the top level, and we think that probably from year to year it will be getting harder and harder to compete with other players. It is hard already, so we'll see how it will grow for the following years.
Absolutely. So definitely getting more and more competitive. As we speak about competition, Vinod, how about your take on competitive insights?
See, basically talking about short drama, the main reason is simple. People love short content that they can watch anytime on their phone. At the same time, like platform are pushing this format through algorithm, which help micro dramas to go viral very fast. Like another big factor is the production. So these dramas are cheaper and faster to make, which means creators can experiment and release content of more oftenly. So, like what makes it even more exciting is that the new way of making money. So, through pay per episode, tips from fan, or even brand partnerships. So when we put all this together, like strong audience demand, platform support, low cost production, I can say that this is a perfect time to invest in micro drama. They are not just a trend anymore. They are one of the like fastest growing opportunity. And definitely at SocialPeta, we help creators, platforms, and brand to understand this audience behavior and the content trend through data-driven insights, so they can make a smarter decision and ride the like wave successfully.
Got it. Thanks for sharing. Moving on, maybe Shadab, do you want to add something to this? तो शादाब, हम लोग ये डिस्कस कर रहे हैं कि अभी क्या ये बिल्कुल सही समय है माइक्रो ड्रामास में इन्वेस्ट करने के लिए, और आपने क्या ऐसे ट्रेंड्स देखे हैं जो आपको ये बताता है कि इस टाइम पे हमें इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए?
देखो, क्या है कि माइक्रो ड्रामा जो सीरीज है ना, शॉर्ट स्टोरियों का चलन ना हमेशा से एक आम रहा है। हम शुरू हुए थे, हमारी कहानी शुरू हुई थी एक पिक्चर से, एक फोटोग्राफी से शुरू हुई थी। हम रील में आ गए, फिर वीडियोस बनने लगे, वापस हम शॉर्ट उसी जा रहे हैं। क्योंकि जो इस वक्त जो पूरी हिंदुस्तान या पूरी दुनिया का जो माहौल है, वो 2019 के बाद ना सिनेमा का चेंज हो गया। लगभग लगभग सब चेंज हो गया। लोगों ने पूरी दुनिया की पिक्चरें देख ली है। अब क्या है, लोगों को छोटे टाइम में बड़ी बात बोलो, छोटा पैकेट बड़ा धमाका, अपनी भाषा में कहें तो छोटे पैकेट बड़ा धमाका चाहिए। तो ऐसे में क्या है, माइक्रो ड्रामा जो सीरीज है, वो बड़ी-बड़ी जो मूवीज हैं, जो ये बड़ी-बड़ी फिल्में हैं, इनकी बड़ी-बड़ी कहानियों को ना वो लॉक कर दे रहे हैं। क्योंकि आप जो पूरा 2.5 घंटे में आप कहने की कोशिश कर रहे हो, वो एक बंदा 30 सेकंड के रील में कह दे रहा है। तो वो 30 सेकंड में हम वो पूरा मोटिवेशन लेके जाएँगे कि हम पूरी फ़िल्म 2.5 घंटा, 3 घंटा आपको इतने ज़्यादा पैसे देके झेलेंगे। तो इसलिए माइक्रो ड्रामा अब लोगों के लिए खास करके, क्योंकि सारा पूरी दुनिया का यूज़र मोबाइल फ्रेंडली है, हर किसी को बगैर मोबाइल से चलता नहीं है। तो मोबाइल ही अब एक तरीके का मोबाइल ओटीटी हो चुका है, मोबाइल ही अब आप आपकी दुनिया हो चुकी है। तो मोबाइल पे ही आपको छोटी-छोटी इस तरीके की कहानियाँ हर सेकंड में मिलेंगी आपको देखने के लिए। तो ये सच है कि आने वाला टाइम और भी ज़्यादा इसको बड़ा, मतलब ये जो नंबर है ये कुछ भी नहीं, ये नंबर मल्टीपल होगा, क्योंकि हम लोग बहुत टाइम से इसमें शॉर्ट स्टोरी में काम कर रहे हैं अलग-अलग क्रिएटरों के साथ। आज मैक्सिमम हिंदुस्तान के जितने बड़े क्रिएटर हैं उन लोगों के साथ हम लोगों ने काम किया। आज उनके बनने में और वो कैसे-कैसे बने हैं उनको हम लोगों ने बहुत करीब से देखा, उनकी बहुत स्टडी की है। तो ज़माने के हिसाब से चीज़ें बदलती रहती है और ये अच्छा भी है और हमें इसके साथ वक़्त बिताना चाहिए और इसको अपनी ज़िंदगी में लेना चाहिए।
Awesome. Awesome. So I think just to also quickly brief everyone about Shadab's comments, he mentioned around how the world is becoming mobile first, and this is just the beginning of a much larger wave that should be coming up pretty soon. Awesome. So moving on, I think some specific questions for the panelists as well. So maybe Ashish, starting off with you, one of the challenges or opportunities is retention in this format.
Yeah,
And the question is more around what would be the tactics to that would work best to keep viewers coming back to this. And also
yeah,
just chiming in with another audience question as well, which was around now, there are, of course, some content locking and offer wall monetization and also different formats that work best. What are some
yeah,
of your views around what kind of content is monetizable, and
yeah,
also what type of content really helps in retention?
yeah. No, I think that's a really, I think that is the multi-billion dollar question, like Anton rightly said, and I agree with him. The right time to invest was 2 to 3 years back, to build an app like this, right? Not saying that it's not the right time now, but probably the single biggest thing that today everyone is asking the C levels of micro drama app owners is, what are your retention metrics? Because you don't want to end up in a situation where the user has 50 apps whose ads he or she is seeing on TikTok and Instagram, and then downloading each of them because each of them looks like a nice story, using them for 7 days, watching the particular series, and then churning, right? So just like TikTok or Instagram, the monetization and the average revenue per user, the unit economics only work out if it is what we call in our industry a serialized monetization. So if you compare like a movie is a one-time consumption. You go, you pay for the movie, you pay for the popcorn, you have a high average revenue per user, and the user goes back. But in TikTok or in micro dramas, you need a serialized consumption to have a serialized monetization. Now, there are four tactics that people are using today to achieve serialized monetization. So the first is unlocking content, which also was a comment in the chat, right? Whether it's through offer walls or whether it's through different mechanisms, unlocking content is one of the most common ways to monetize. Which means you, like Anton rightly said and Shadab ne jaise bola, you have to leave it at different hooks and cliffhangers. That creates the monetization. Second, we've seen this in gaming, right? So a lot of the people who succeeded in mobile gaming are applying the same infrastructure or mechanics to micro dramas. So, for example, how do you get rewarded for consuming more? Right? As you get rewarded, you consume more, there's more chances to monetize. The third biggest thing, which I think we have not yet seen, but is going to be probably the most biggest thing that people work on, is how do you create a brand so that you don't have to keep acquiring users at an increasing cost from a Google or Meta, and you can retain those users on a platform the way a Netflix or Amazon Prime. That today has not happened. So if you ask someone today, hey, what is the micro drama app you use? They may not exactly remember, but they might remember the series they watched. But tomorrow they might go to another app because there's another love story, love triangle happening there. Right. So I think the retention unlock will be, and I think Omer asked another question, will be diversity of content, eventually IPs that are created, rich content IPs that actually keep you relatable to a particular micro drama app. So tomorrow I should be able to answer this question. Hey, what micro drama app would you recommend for comedy? I should have an answer for you. And I think that's the biggest unlock on retention that we haven't seen yet. So that's my take on the retention question you had, Karan.
Awesome. So really going through in terms of building specialized content libraries, one would be that, and of course also ensuring that branding becomes a part of the entire game. Uh, great insights coming in. The next question would be for Binod. Maybe you can add in some more in terms of like from an ad intelligence perspective. What would be some of the trends that you're currently seeing in the marketing and user acquisition strategies for micro dramas? I think another very relevant question that came in from the audience was that if there are some micro dramas that they already have existing, what would be the most effective strategies for promoting them on various platforms?
See, from an ad intelligence perspective, microdramas are bringing some very interesting trend in the marketing and user acquisition. First, we are seeing like highly targeted short drama video ads. Like creatives are designed to mirror the drama itself among almost like a mini trailer to instantly hook the viewers. Secondly, like platform first strategy are dominate. Creators are trailering ad differently for TikTok or Instagram, or it can be like YouTube or Shorts, because each platform has a unique user behavior and algorithm pattern. Third, like interactive and performance driven campaigns are growing. So things like clickable storyline and click to action that drive users to download app or pay for the next episode. So like finally, when we talk about even like cross promotion and influencer tie-ups are also proven to be very successful. And one very interesting thing I see when we talk about creative in other app or the gaming sector is that when we talk about in short drama, the creative length is somewhere between say like 3 to 5 minutes or 5 to 7 minutes. So that is the one very important thing. Like when we are promoting any short drama, you have to keep in mind.
Got it. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. I think some good insights in terms of what should be the kind of length and some other user acquisition strategies really work out. So definitely moving on to understanding a bit more in terms of content acquisition. This would be for Shadab. I think he would be the relevant person. So let's say what qualities do you look for when acquiring micro drama content for your platform? How do you evaluate it, whether a micro drama will resonate with a global audience versus a local one? So, and also another audience question, now that we are seeing that there are some micro dramas built with AI tools, how are you currently looking at ensuring that the genuineness as well as personalization is achieved? तो शादाब, एक तो ये क्वेश्चन है कि
दो तीन क्वेश्चन हो
जैसे
गए इसमें।
आप हेलो।
हाँ, मैं बोल रहा हूँ इसमें 2-3 क्वेश्चन हो गए, है ना?
हाँ जी, आपके
तो
लिए बहुत काम है आज के लिए। तो
हाँ,
एक तो ये क्वेश्चन है कि आप क्या ढूंढते हैं माइक्रो ड्रामास में जब आपको
तो
उनको एक्वायर करना रहता है।
सबसे
एंड
पहले
जैसे अभी एआई से कई माइक्रो ड्रामास बन रहे हैं, तो आप कैसे जो है कि इंश्योर करते हैं कि ये लोकल ऑडियंस के लिए है, ये ग्लोबल ऑडियंस के लिए सही रहेगा?
ठीक है। तो सबसे पहली चीज़ जो है, जो मैं या मेरे जैसे और भी जो भी कंटेंट एग्जीक्यूशन जो एक्वायर करते हैं, तो जो भी माइक्रो ड्रामा है या कोई भी फ़िल्म वगैरह है, ये 2-3 बुनियादों पे टिकी हुई है। तो अभी हम माइक्रो ड्रामा पे हम बात कर रहे हैं, तो माइक्रो सबसे पहली चीज़ आती है कहानी क्या है, उसकी ताकत क्या है? तो हम लोग सबसे पहले देखते हैं कि कहानी क्या है, उसकी ताकत क्या है, वो कहाँ है, कैसे है, क्यों है, किस लिए है, क्या उसमें ऐसी कोई बात है ना? जो हमारे पास एक डेटा होता है, वो डेटा के हिसाब से ऑडियंस को पुल कर पाएगी या नहीं कर पाएगी। दूसरी चीज़ ये आती है कि दूसरी बात ये है कि इमोशनली कितना ये ऑडियंस को कनेक्ट कर पाएगी। क्या सच में वो बात है या नहीं है? कि या खाली-खाली ऐसा ही है कि हमने एक टाइटल बना दिया है, वो टाइटल पे हम लोगों को अट्रैक्ट करके लेके आएँगे और बाद में जब "खोदा पहाड़ तो निकली चूहा", उस तरीके से नहीं होना चाहिए। तो तीसरा जो है इसका कैसा है कि इसमें ज़रूरत पड़ेगी प्रोडक्शन क्वालिटी की, क्योंकि अभी यहाँ इंडिया में भी अगर जिस तरीके से माइक्रो ड्रामास बन रहे हैं लगातार, तो इनमें क्या हो गया है कि एक भेड़ चाल मची हुई है, जिसमें क्या हो रहा है कि बहुत सारी कंपनियों ने क्या अपनी प्रोडक्शन क्वालिटी गिरा दी है ना? जिस तरीके की उन्हें चाहिए। तो हमारे ओटीटी के लिए हम ये 3 चीज़ें देखते हैं कि प्रोडक्शन क्वालिटी अच्छी होनी चाहिए, इमोशनली कनेक्ट होना चाहिए और कहानी की ताकत क्या है? क्या ये लोगों को जोड़ पा रही है या नहीं जोड़ पा रही है? क्या ये कम टाइम में कोई संदेश दे पा रही है या नहीं दे पा रही है? तो बहुत ज़रूरी है। और तीसरी चीज़ क्या है कि अब लोकल बनाम ग्लोबल, है ना? तो इसमें क्या है कि आप एआई से बनाओ या आप नॉर्मली कोई चीज़ बनाओ, है ना? जब तक इसमें भी अब ग्लोबल में क्या होता है, ग्लोबल में कैसे जैसे प्यार है, ग्लोबली हर जगह मशहूर है ना? मोटिवेशन हर जगह मशहूर है। इस तरीके के कॉन्सेप्ट पे अगर इंडिया में भी काम किए जाते हैं, तो ये ग्लोबल मार्केट पकड़ता है। कुछ ऐसी चीज़ होती है जो लोकल एक भाषाओं से रिलेटेड होती है लोकल, तो वहाँ आपको देखना पड़ता है कि ये आप लोकल के लिए बना रहे हैं या ग्लोबल के लिए। कुछ यूनिवर्सल टॉपिक होते हैं, जिसमें हिंदुस्तान भी काम करता है और पूरी दुनिया के सब लोग काम करते हैं, जो सबको पता होता है कि ये चीज़ें हिंदुस्तान से आगे निकल के ग्लोबल लेवल पे भी जाएँगी या कोई भी देश से कहीं से भी निकल के पूरी दुनिया में घूमने वाली है, मिलने वाली है। तो लोकल अपील बहुत होनी चाहिए। जब लोकल कोई चीज़ हम बना रहे हैं, तो उसमें लोकल अपील की भी बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरत पड़ती है। अगर वो लोकल अपील नहीं है, तो इंसान से कनेक्ट नहीं हो पाता, क्योंकि हम बहुत सारी चीज़ें आपने देखा होगा कोरियन ड्रामा का लोगों ने या फिर और भी अलग-अलग ड्रामाओं को देख-देख के इंडिया में एक ख़ास तरीके का एक पैटर्न शुरू हुआ है। एक ख़ास तरीके का नैरेटिव सेट किया गया है, एक ख़ास तरीके की कहानियाँ दिखाई जा रही है। लेकिन हम दर्शकों के जा के अगर उनसे मिलते हैं, उनसे बात करने की कोशिश करते हैं। मैं बीइंग कंटेंट एजुकेशन हेड, मैं जब मार्केट में जाता हूँ, लोगों से मिलता हूँ, तो मैं ये सोचता हूँ कि क्या उनको वो सारे ड्रामे जो आज के टाइम में चल रहे हैं, क्या उन्हें पसंद आ रहे हैं? तो बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग मिलते हैं कि हमें नहीं पसंद आ रहे हैं, अब हम बोर हो चुके हैं, हम सेम कहानियों को। तो ये भी एक चीज़ निकल के आती है, तो हमें एक चीज़ को ध्यान देना है इस तरीके के कि हम रिपीटेड कोई चीज़ ना आए। एक तो पहले इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे हम देख चुके हैं, हम उसकी वैल्यू सिर्फ़ एक बार की है। लेकिन हमारे बहुत सारे ऐसे ओटीटीज़ भी हैं जो इस चीज़ को बना रहे हैं बार-बार, बार-बार, क्योंकि यूज़र को इसको मज़ा आ गया है तो उसको पिन करना है, पिन करके पैसे बनाने हैं। तो ऐसे भी कई बार इस तरीके की भी चीज़ें ना, जो ऐप है या और भी हमारे जैसे क्रिएटर हैं, जो लोग जुड़े हुए हैं या मार्केट के लिए भी खतरा होता है, क्योंकि ऐसे में क्राइसिस ज़्यादा हो जाती है चीज़ों को लेके। तो ये चीज़ को, और जब भी फ़िल्म बनाएँ तो ग्लोबल अपील में यूनिवर्सल चीज़ें आती है, उसको पकड़े, ऑटोमेटिक ग्लोबल अपील होगी।
Awesome. So, thank you so much for sharing. I've just also added a quick transcript on chat for folks who would want to understand. Um, Moving on, I think what would be really interesting would be to understand Anton's perspective as well on licensing and partnerships. So, Anton, what challenges have you faced in securing international licensing deals for microdramas? And are there any particular genres or storylines that travel better across borders? That's the first question that I have for you. The other one also is that there are, of
That's
course, a lot of.
already two.
So this is the third question that I have for you. There are a lot of passionate folks who are today building micro dramas. What should be the kind of research that they should do while building, as well as ensuring the distribution of it as well?
Okay, I'm not sure I got the last question, but let's move it step by step. So the first one was about challenges in licensing.
Yeah, that's right.
And yeah, thank you for that question. Frankly speaking, the biggest challenge is not in licensing the content, but in creating the content. Because when you have a good content, a good story, if you were lucky enough and professional enough to create a good story, then probably you will not have any challenges with the licensing, because each of platforms will want to get this story because it will bring money. And talking about the creation part, it is also like a very interesting area because since we are working with a content which consists of script, actors in frames, music, lots of factors that influence on the future performance. You cannot be sure whether the content will work or not, because too many factors will influence on it. So the only one thing you can do is to analyze the data, collect as much data as you can, analyze it, and play by the rules you create while creating the stories. So the main rules are: you gotta have a great script, you gotta have a great cast, and now what we are seeing in the market, the directors also plays a big role. So these are three key factors. And if you're lucky enough and you created a great story, then from our side, we are license all of our stories exclusively on a revenue sharing model, which includes revenue sharing model, and that creates a partnership between us as a studio and a platform. And this is a very mutually beneficial case, because that way the platform understands that we also want this to happen. We also want to earn money on it. We also want to make the best out of it. So I don't see any challenges here if the product is great. But the biggest challenge probably the next one. So since we had been working a lot with Facebook and YouTube, creating those short fiction stories, we got a chance to collect a lot of data, to analyze anything, like each second of viewers' behavior. But if we're talking about short drama market, since we don't have the application, it's a bit hard to get a data from platforms. And some of the platforms are open to us and they share us with the data. Some not, most of them not. And that is a challenge, because we are trying to negotiate with platforms and to get them to the point that we need this data only to be better at the next time. Because if we know like 100% information about the performance of the short drama, then we can analyze it and do better next time. And if we just see the numbers of revenue, like one number or two numbers, then we are trying to like make assumptions to like guess what happened. And that's a challenge probably for talking about licensing. So I'm very grateful to the platform who are open to with sharing the data of performance, because this is a sign they feel this is a partnership and not only getting a short drama from someone. That was the first answer. What was the second question?
I'll probably club it up with my next question overall, but yeah, thank you so much for sharing this information. I think this is super helpful for all the folks who've joined us today.
Hope so.
Sorry, go ahead.
I hope so. I hope so. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think the next bit that I wanted to really dive into, and as we are near the end of this amazing session, is how do you currently see this space evolving in the next 3 to 5 years? What are some opportunities that you see within this space? I think it's open for everyone, so I think everyone can share their thoughts on this overall.
I was talking for a long time, so I'm waiting for
Ashish, maybe
someone,
you want to
another
get
to
started?
start.
Yeah, sure. And Karan, actually, I would love your view because you've been in the app space for such a long time as well, right? Just sharing my perspective, having been in the MarTech media space for a while. I think every 3 years there's this interesting stat. Every 2 to 3 years, 26% of content in apps and games that gets, scaled is new content. So people think, hey, if I'm a successful content developer in 2025, the fact is there's a very high chance that someone else is going to leapfrog you in 2029. So, we've seen this across apps, we've seen this across gaming. And I think the same, in my opinion, is going to come true for short form micro dramas. So even if you are starting today and thinking about starting today in micro drama, while it seems cluttered, it seems scary, the thing that is exciting is that 26% of all content in apps and games is new every 2 to 3 years. So do not feel scared of jumping into the content bandwagon. In our industry, this is called an S curve, right? Where typically, if you look at hyper casual games, back when Flappy Bird started, the trend of hyper casual, then scaled by Voodoo, there was a massive influx of hyper casual games, easy to play games, easy to install. Over time, if you look at mobile gaming, it is now a mature industry where you have large IPs like Candy Crush, Subway Surfer. You have a ton of amazing hyper casual games. You have a new genre of gaming called hybrid casual games. The kind of Rollick, Zynga, etc. Everyone has seen like 100% Y on Y growth on this. And you also see AAA titles in gaming, PUBG, Garena, right? I feel the same thing will happen with microdrama. You're on that S curve beginning right now, where the last 2 3 years you've seen a lot of influx of lower hanging fruits of content and distribution. The next cycle will be about bucketing. So there will be premium platforms, which might be like a Netflix of microdrama. There will be niche platforms, which will be like, okay, I'm only in comedy, I'm only in love stories, I'm only in Hindi, I'm only in Telugu, I'm only in Indonesian, whatever, right? And again, you'll kind of have this S curve where it matures, in my view, having seen this 3 times in the last 10 years in content and ad tech. I think it'll go the same way, where you then have clearly defined buckets of, okay, I'm a premium platform aggregating microdramas. Hey, I'm a comedy platform. Hey, I'm only in India. Hey, I am only a developer licensing, right? You'll have very clearly defined micro verticals in this large industry. And I think it's such a fantastic time as an entrepreneur to start. You can pick up anything, right? Like Anton is in licensing. What a great time, because you can supply to people who are getting funded and need content. If you're a content producer in India, as Shadab is there. Shadab is sitting at the forefront and seeing what stories work, right? And we luckily also have a front seat to kind of work with all these platforms because, like Vinod rightly said, creative is a very important part. User acquisition, monetization is a really important part. So I think we're on this beginning of the S curve. And we'll see like this $10 to $20 billion industry have very clearly defined buckets and a lot of entrepreneurship opportunity.
Awesome. What a thought. Thanks for sharing, Ashish. Anyone else would like to add on to this?
I think I can jump into right after Ashish again. So I kind of agree with Ashish again. And I'm actually have a question to Ashish probably after I answer this one. So talking about the perspective in the next 3 5 years, we at AMO Pictures we strongly believe that it really depends from how the market and how the biggest player will behave. So we see that lots of players keep producing and releasing the same stories because they bring money and it's okay. But yeah, we also know that the users, the viewers always want to refresh things. They always want to try new formats, to try new genres. And it's always about risks because you never know. You just have to keep trying and for the market, because if the market will stop trying, will stop developing, that it will just stop at the end of the day and it will stop producing money, which is also not good. So that's why from our perspective we strongly believe that discovering new formats and discovering new plots, new genres is the key point to keep this market on edge and to keep this market developing. But talking about like another area of this, not about the content, but about the competition. Of course, we believe that like in a couple of years, there will be probably like 3 to 5 big players, which will divide all the market, and the competition will be not as open as it is today.
Awesome. Thanks.
That's it.
Thanks for sharing. Um, Anyone else would like to have a take on this? Vinod, maybe do you want to share a bit around how do you see the next 3 to 5 years shape this market?
Uh, so basically, Ashish and Anton have almost covered everything. So to adding to that, obviously it will be bucketed into different categories, as well as it will be also targeted to specific geographies. So when we talk about, there will be a global player, when we talk about the longer format, we have Amazon and Netflix. The similar way, we will be having a local content creators or local apps which will be specifically target to different geography to sustain and even uh, uh, to gain the specific user.
Got it. Of course. Thanks. Thanks so much for sharing. Shadab, do you want to add something? आपको क्या लगता है कि अगले 3 से 5 सालों में ये मार्केट कैसे इवॉल्व होगा?
ये इस मार्केट को सिर्फ कहानियां ही बड़े बना सकती हैं। अच्छी कहानियां रहेगी तो जाहिर सी बात है बूम आगे जाएगी, है ना? बाकी कोई भी चीज को चलाने के लिए आइडिया की जरूरत पड़ती है। हमारे दिमाग कितनी उपज, हम एआई के भी दौर में जी रहे हैं, हम इंसान भी हैं। हम इस दोनों के बीच की एक लड़ाई में हमारे पास क्या एक नई कहानी उत्पन्न होती है और हर दिन एक नया चैलेंज बढ़ चुका है हर किसी ओटीटी के लिए, क्योंकि व्यूवर्स को अब उस तरीके की चीज है। तो कहानी अभी के टाइम में, कहानी ही एक ऐसी चीज है जो हो सकता है कि 3 साल में बहुत ज्यादा आगे लेके जाए। नए नए कंटेंट क्रिएटर पैदा हुए हैं, क्योंकि पैसे जो भी कमा रहा है उनको सबको बांटना है बारी बारी, क्योंकि नहीं तो अकेला दिमाग ज्यादा दिन तक नहीं, तो बड़ी बड़ी टीमों की जरूरत पड़ेगी। लोगों के लिए बहुत सारे काम लोगों के और नए खुलेंगे, तो ये मार्केट बड़ा ही होता जाएगा कंटिन्यूअस।
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. And
Karan,
just
what
to
is your take? I mean, I'd love to get your perspective, from Newton. You've been in the app space for a while. Would love to get your perspective as well.
Absolutely. So I think from my point of view, and there was this amazing movie that came out called Bandersnatch back in 2018, if you all remember, that had the option of really personalizing the story based on different scenarios. Like you could go back and have your own story overall. I think that's where the micro drama space will evolve because from when I understand this entire production industry, there was a point of time where subtitling was a big business. Then came in, I would say, video creation. Then came in reel creation. Then comes in short drama. Now it would become a space which would be retention focused with very high personalization. Like, can we go back and personalize a complete script, a storyline based on different user personas? Because retention in this space means more money. It means more ad revenue, means more brand partnerships as well. So, from my point of view, in the next 3 to 5 years, we'll see this entire space really grow with apps as well as other platforms really personalizing the entire script and storyline based on who's watching. Very interestingly, there were some movies as well that have started coming up with part A and part B in India as well as in other geos, where the ending also is very different, and it kind of creates that curiosity where I want to see both parts of it because I want to understand what changed where, and that's a big hook for a user to really be engaged and understand and see what did I miss. Also, I think the short video format today is built on saying how long can I keep this user to make more money? And that's where each, let's say, micro drama is 90 parts, 120 parts, 150 parts, which works great for a marketer, but not so much for a user. So I would see some of these business models also change from saying, I'm going to give you 2 parts to watch today, and the next is if you pay money. to going back and saying, hey, here are some brand integrations coming in for me to make my money. You go ahead and see the entire micro drama in one go. Because users tend to go back and uninstall as soon as they're a bit bored. And of course, different content formats would change in terms of storytelling, but storytelling is not going anywhere. It's been there for ages, so that's definitely there to stay. But I would say storytelling would be very different for everyone, because I like action, someone else likes romance, so on and so forth. So that would definitely mean more retention, more money in the market for creators, publishers, as well as app owners. Awesome. I hope this was a super informative session for everyone. I see no audience questions, so I'm assuming that everyone had a really great time. Anton, I'll leave that last question for you to ask from anyone in the panel. But apart from that, it's all. Anton, any last thoughts? Any last question that you had for any one of us?
Well, basically, I completely agree with what you just mentioned about the personalizing the content. And I missed to tell that also when you asked about 3 to 5 years predictions. So when I told that we believe in a couple of years there will be like 3 to 5 players, we also believe that these 3 to 5 players they will try to they will start working with the audience they already have. So there will be more about the product and not about like looking for new audiences, which is happening right now. So that way, this kind of match with what you mentioned I mean, with personalization the content, because all of the players will start think about, okay, so what is who is our audience, who watches us, and how we should keep its attention. That is what most of the platforms doesn't think for today, but they will just need a time.
Awesome. Awesome. I think that's a perfect closing thought as well. Thanks for sharing that. Of course, there'll be some more questions from the audience. What would be really helpful is that if everyone in the panel can just drop their LinkedIn link, and of course would request the audience to connect and of course share their thoughts as well. Also, a shout out to the SocialPeta team for really organizing this and bringing the entire panel together. I think it's a lot of effort that they put in to ensure that they're building a strong community. So do ensure that you also check that out. Big round of applause for Ashish, Shadab, Binod, as well as Anton for taking out the time to, of course, share their expertise and their knowledge. A lot of this happens because there are folks who are keen on listening, understanding, and growing in their own fields. So really happy that this turned out to be a good webinar, and hoping that we connect very soon again. I'll leave the next 5 minutes to quickly have some feedback from the audience. If there's anything that you'd like to share with any of the panelists, please do. From the panelists, would be really helpful if you can share your LinkedIn links over here. And that is it from my end. Have a good day ahead, and take care.